Yes crew, this is your boy Stanton and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how doing 3 seasons in Ibiza benefited me as a DJ producer and how you doing the same can help you too. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So guys, let's start with example number 1. It helped me find my sound as a DJ producer. So if you're a DJ and you're searching for your sound, then Ibiza could be a place to look, you know. And after all, if you're doing a season there, then, you know, things are ideal, you know. So you've got a whole selection of clubs and events, such as DC10 for Circo Loco, Amnesia for Paradise and Do Not Sleep. You've also got Ushuaia for Ants, Pasha for Flower Power. You've also got Octan, which is formerly known as Sankey's. You've got the Zoo Project and more intimate clubs such as Underground for if you're more into the minimal and Romanian sound. But you know, like, how did these selection of clubs, you know, help me find my sound? So back in college, I came across Fuse London on Beatport and I listened to a track called Senior Chunk by Seb Zito, you know, and it was just really this like stripped back, subby, you know, tune, and I was just like, wow, like, where can I find more of this? And same again with Enzo Siragusa's track Sagamore. I was like, this stuff is, you know, it sounds fresh and it's really authentic, and it just sounded like something I'd never heard before, you know, and something that I was searching for. And over the course of the 2013 season, you know, I would go to Fuse like every Tuesday. You know, I was hooked on this sound. But it wasn't until the closing event that, you know, things started to like take shape. So I went to the closing party and they had Teeny playing, and all night, like, they were just banging it out, and it was just this really stripped back sound. And just think, you're in a club, pitch black with a red light pulsing and the odd strobe kicking off, you know, a void sound system smacking through your chest, you know, because that type of music's like really deep and subby. So on a void sound system, like, the low end's just absolutely blowing the place up. And the girls that I was with, they were like, oh yeah, do you want to come to the after party where like Enzo and Roscoe were playing? And I remember turning up and Teeny was there partying, and there was a guy that just had a mix, and I don't know who it was, but he was finding it hard to mix and, you know, like trying hard to like stand up. And I said to Roscoe, I shouted over to him, so, are you guys trying to teach him how to DJ? And he just like, you know, grinned, and, you know, and he was like, oh, do you want to have a mix? So I remember pulling out of his CD wallet What They Say by Maya Jane Coles, but it was the Died Sound Room remix, which is a proper like DC10 type of tune. You know, it just has that like Circo Loco vibe about it. So check that out once you've you know, watched this video. But you know, the beauty of this was, like, the beauty of this moment was, if I didn't make that joke and I wasn't cheeky and I wasn't being myself, you know, like, I wouldn't have got chatting to a Fuse resident, would I? You know, who years later went on to supporting my track Stop Telling Me on Ibiza Sonica and Murder Tune at the Fuse 13th birthday at Printworks London. So that, guys, concludes example number 1. So guys, this brings me to example number 2, work hard, play harder. So as a PR in Ibiza, I was always walking up and down the promenade, PRing tourists, you know, cracking on with the workers, introducing myself to the bar owners and bar and restaurant staff. And we had our Wednesday party on at the Zoo, and it was called Channel Zoo, which was the record label showcase for the artists on the brand, and they would play among other underground names. So every week I would be wristbanding people, telling them about the party in hopes they'd go on with my wristband on. Now, reason being, if they went in with my wristband on, I'd get like €3 commission on every band that went through the door. So it was a really good time to make some money and really push things for the party and fill the party up so the DJs had someone to play to, because after all, we're the PRing team, like it was our job to get people to the event. And as my numbers grew week in and week out, I started to make more of an impression with the other managers who I didn't really know, and I got chatting to them. And then one in particular, which was the booking agent, Graham Stewart, awesome guy. He was like my big brother of Ibiza, looked after me all the time. He would call me up every Monday, be like, Zach, what you doing? Let's go to DC10. Like, we're going to go and see so-and-so play. I'll pick you up in 5. I'd just be like laid in bed like from the night before, still half asleep. So it was great. It was a great time working under him. So I asked him, could I DJ in the zoo one day? And he said, yeah. He was like, give me a demo, and if I like it, I'll put you on. Because I told him, I was like, I'm here because I'm a DJ and I want to work for the brand and go further getting gigs. So a week later, he put me on the Zoo Project boat party, and I was playing alongside a guy called Jonathan Tenner, which is one of like the original like Zoo Project residents. He's like unbelievable DJ. And let's just say the gig went great, and I ended up playing the main event at the zoo on the treehouse stage. But back then it was the pool arena, and then that would happen over the course of like the next 3 seasons, from like 2012, 13 or 14. And also I would play in the disco bar as well, which was a more smaller arena in the zoo. And anyone that's watching this would know what I'm talking about. It was a big massive zoo, abandoned zoo up in the hills, and just on the outskirts of like San'an. And it was like a mini festival, and people would run around in gorilla outfits and act like monkeys and dress up as their favourite animal, the girls and the guys. It was a proper showcase. But the beauty of these moments were, if I didn't hit the pavement, push through boundaries, face rejection and put myself out there, maybe I wouldn't have got the gig. Maybe myself not finishing college earlier, I wouldn't have even got a job as a PR in Ibiza, and I wouldn't have made this dream I had a reality. So that concludes example number 2. So guys, this leads me to my third and final point. You will make great memories and contacts that will serve you later in your career. So whilst I was partying at the zoo, I was asked by the booking agent to look after Hector Morales whilst he was playing and, before and after his set. And over the course of the evening, we became really good friends, and he invited me to a private barbecue the day after. And from what I remember, it was in San Rafael and at this agro-turismo. And I walked through the gates, and everyone was chilling at this pool and just cracking on. And what I saw was DJ Sneak and Loco Dice were cooking up a barbecue. Now, rumour was, DJ Sneak cooks an absolute mean barbecue. So I was like, I can't wait for this. This is going to be absolutely unbelievable. So anyway, I was there with my plate, and Sneak was handing out some chicken, and there was aioli and salad and baguettes and just some more meat and stuff. And like an Ibiza barbecue, like you're not in Ibiza if you're not having aioli and bread, are you? Like, come on, let's be real. And for the workers out there, that's all some people could afford, but because of the beauty of the island and because it was always buzzing and no one wanted to go back home, that's just people just put up with it, Like in my first season, me and my PR manager, Philip Sturziker, for about a month, we ate like red peppers, goat's cheese, because we couldn't really afford much. So anyway, back to my point. But just think, you're 21 in Ibiza and you're working for a wicked brand and such as the Zoo Project, and you're sat having a barbecue with some of the most, established DJs in the world. Like, how mind-blowing is that? But I remember walking over to this big box of coconuts, and Dice was walking over to it as well. And we both grabbed one of them at the same time, and I was like, no, mate, you just have it. And he was like, no, my friend, you take it. This is just a little something from us to say thank you for coming to support us, So I was stood there in awe, thinking like, what the hell, this only happens in Ibiza. But Darius Syrossian was there as well, being interviewed by Pioneer Radio. But it wasn't until my third season where I actually got talking to him, where I was invited to one of his villa parties. And all I remember was we were sat there on the poolside just chatting, and the sun was coming up, and people were partying, proper like magical vibe, those proper Ibiza vibes going on. But it wasn't until 10 years later where I met him at Mint Festival, and I started chatting to him, and I went over to him and said, oh, do you remember me from Ibiza? We were sat, on your poolside chatting. And he was like, yeah, I remember. He was like, I remember your face. He was like, and I was like, yeah, wicked, man. So I reintroduced myself, and some of the lads that he was with was like, oh yeah, have you heard his tracks? You need to listen to them. So anyway, I sent him a WhatsApp link with some tunes on, and he went on to supporting them. And when you get someone like Syrossian playing your tunes, you're like moving forward, which I was buzzing about. But the beauty of this was, we've got something in the pipeline now, which will all be revealed soon, which this will make a lot more sense in the coming months if you want to check back or keep a eye on my timeline, on my socials. But like I say, the beauty of these moments were, what about if I hadn't have worked in Ibiza or looked after Hector Morales, where I got invited to a private barbecue and I had food with some of the biggest names in the industry. Like, what if I didn't go to Syrossian's villa where we chatted on his poolside, and would he have remembered me? Maybe not, or who knows. But this is what places like Ibiza can do for you if you're willing to take chances, work hard, believe in yourself, and follow your own path. So that, guys, concludes example number 3. So guys, that rounds up the video on how doing 3 seasons in Ibiza benefited me as a DJ producer, and how you doing the same can help you too. And I know Ibiza is changing at the moment, or people like to say it is, but it's still one of the most prolific places on earth for house and techno music. Like, come on, it's like it's the magical island of Ibiza. People meet there to enjoy the hedonistic lifestyle where everyone's values align and beliefs. So my message to you all would be, go out there, let it be known what you want to do, and achieve and make a good impression on the people that are around you. Don't be afraid to speak up like I did. Make yourself known to the DJs and the promoters. It's important to get the right people supporting your music if you're a DJ producer, so it can shape your career in the future just like it did mine. But be confident, do what you want to do, and if it makes people unhappy, then so be it. At the end of the day, you're number one and number one only. So let me know in the comment section below if you're out there doing a season in Ibiza, and let me know how things have changed, or if there's still PRs or groups of them, like walking up and down the promenade or around the West End. Let's have a bit of a discussion in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.